Hello, everybody. So this week is a special week in our training. This week we're going to do the Danger Line Mastery, and we're moving on to the Danger Line Part 2. So the Danger Line Part 2, just to remind you, the classic Danger Line Part 2 is when we ask somebody how they heard about our company. And, in the classic sense, what we answer is that one of our friends or family members told us about us. We got a referral. And so when we get a referral, it's really easy. Let's not make a mistake here because we have to make sure we honor the person who referred us and also let the customer know we're thankful of the opportunity as well too. So we typically would just say, so how did you hear about our company or how did you find our company? And they would say, well, one of my friends told me about you, Ernie Garcia. Really? What did Ernie say? Well, he said that you guys were a good company, that you're top notch. And then I would say, well, what else did he say? Maybe he was just exaggerating. No, he said you guys were the best company in the whole area and that he really thinks you guys are special. And then I would say, well, that's so sweet and so nice of him. Would it be okay if I went back and told Ernie, I said, thank you for those kind words? I mean, it makes me feel really good when people say nice things about us like that. And then also thanks to you too, Joe. Thanks for saying those nice things. So in today's call, what I like to see you do is first, let's remind ourselves, since it's been a few weeks since we've gone through it, let's go through the classic Danger Line back on page 1 and have somebody just go through that with us to make sure we have that under control. Then we're going to move to a situation where we ask people how they heard about us. By the way, how did you ever find our company? Or may ask you how you found our company. Well, they may say something like, I just Googled you. And then I want you to double check though, because 84% of the people who Google us are told to Google us by somebody who referred us. So I want you to make sure that you ask, so Joe, has any friends or family told you to Google us, or how did you Google us? Oh, I just looked you up on the internet. No, I didn't. No, there's nobody who told me about you guys. I don't have no idea about what happened there. Okay, good. Well, then it's just a cold situation where people got us from an ad on Google, and it had nothing to do with anything that was a referral. So we found that out. We kind of smoked that out. So then we would just say, well, you saw the ad and you called us. Okay. Well, thanks so much for the opportunity. Well, how was your experience when you called in to our company? You know, we do promise world-class service. So what was the level of service when you called us? And they most likely would say, oh, it was really good, actually. You answered the phone and you scheduled a call. Really? Who answered the phone? And then it would tell you more. Well, it was Debbie. You know, she did a great job. We talked about our kids and she booked the call. And then I would ask, hey, would you say that Debbie did a good job or a bad job? How would you say she did? Oh, no, she did great. She was top notch because she booked the call. I really liked her a lot. Hey, can I go back and do something? What's that? Can I go back and tell Debbie you said those kind words? It would really mean a lot to her if I did that. Sure, you go ahead and tell her, Joe. Now, in that regard, what we're learning is that the customer is learning that we care about our teammates. And if we care about our teammates, such as Debbie or whoever answers the phone, and we tell them what customer said about them, the customer can connect the dots and figure out that, well, somebody who cares about their teammates would also care about me as a customer too. And so it's kind of a way that we are able to let people know a little bit about who we are and what we represent, right, as a person. Next thing you could find out is social media review. How do people find our company? Well, I just Googled you and I came up with something there. So what did the reviews say? Well, almost all of them are good. Most of your clients talked about how service being great. Well, that's really kind of them to do that. May I ask you what they said? Yeah, one guy said you came over and fixed the job right away. Oh my goodness, what else did they say? They said you were really the best company, but you weren't the cheapest, but you were top notch. Hey, would you mind if I went back online and said thanks to some of those people? It's so nice that they would do that. And again, you're doing the thank you, and thank you for the opportunity too. Thanks for sharing that as well too, right? And then finally, we're going to go to Danger Line Part 2, where people may not be thrilled with your company. They may be unhappy with something. Like they could say, I almost called somebody else because you guys were so late. And that would be the Danger Line Part 2 about they're not happy with you. And, well, thank you for sharing that with me. Can I flag your account to make sure that doesn't happen again? So you're taking action immediately about that. Yeah, that'd be great. Finally, someone understands what I'm trying to say. Okay, well, with that being said, if we could stop if you're too angry to get the call done, I would understand if you wanted to stop the call. Now, on the other hand, if you wanted to continue, well, what should we do? Well, no, you're here now. I want to get this thing fixed. Are you sure now? I don't want to get, if you're too upset to continue, I don't want to force you into it. No, I'm good. I want to get this thing done. Okay. Well, I'm sure you might have said, I'm sorry, I shouldn't get that mad at you. Could you please stay and get it fixed? Well, of course. Would you mind if I bring this up at our next meeting so we can learn from our situation? I mean, this way I can tell everybody about what we need to do to improve over at our place. Could I do that? That's really great if you could do that. Okay, I'll go ahead and take care of that. Well, hey, would you like a cup of coffee? Sure, I'll take a cup. Remember, don't always take the cup of coffee whenever you're asked for it. And that is the Dangerline Part 2 in the Mastery of Dangerline. And then don't forget, I think what we're going to have you guys do is go through the first normal standard Dangerline. Then we're going to go through these things where we have a situation where we just Googled you. And then we're going to do one where they have the reviews and then an unhappy client. And then what we're going to do is introduce you to the concept of the Dangerline clock and just test a few of you. Now, you can do an open book on this one where what we'll do is just pick one off the clock and see if you can pick the right response that is in either Dangerline Part 1 or Part 2, and then just give the response you can. Now, obviously, you want to study because next week is the graduation, and we look forward to making sure everybody can graduate. So everybody do the Dangerline Part 2 Classic. Then we go to the referral, just Google the company. And then we go to the reviews and then an unhappy customer. And then we're going to do a little bit of the Dangerline clock to make sure that we can test just a few different things with different people on the line. We look forward to that. Next week will be the graduation, so study that Dangerline clock and make sure you practice the right responses to the right situation. That's all we have, everybody. We will now work with you on the role play as we go through it, and we will be leading you through that role play. The best of luck. We will see you next week as we do the graduations. Have a great one, everybody.